If you are watching this, there is a good chance you are one of the hardest workers in your team, and that is not being reflected in your career progression. This video explains why, not to depress you, to give you an accurate picture of how the promotion system actually works. Because once you understand the system, you can operate inside it far more effectively. Most people never get this explanation. They spend years working harder, wondering why it is not translating. Today, you are going to understand exactly why and what to do about it. Picture this. You have a colleague. They are competent, but you do more. You stay later. Your output is higher. You work through the tight deadlines. You have probably covered for them more than once. And yet, at the last review cycle, they got the promotion. You did not. You may not have even had a conversation about it, just a quiet email, with someone else's name and a new title. If you have lived this, you already know the feeling, the confusion, the quiet frustration, that moment where you seriously wonder whether any of that effort is actually worth it. Here is what I want to offer you today. Not reassurance and not motivation. A different frame entirely. What if the promotion did not go to the wrong person? What if you have simply been optimizing for the wrong variable? That is not a comfortable thing to hear, but it is the most useful thing I can tell you, because variables can be changed. Most professionals operate on what I call the meritocracy assumption. The idea is simple. Do good work, get rewarded. It feels rational. It feels fair. And in most organizations, it is almost entirely wrong. Here is what the research on organizational behavior actually shows. Promotions are not primarily a reward for past performance. They are a prediction of future value at the next level. Those are two fundamentally different things, and the confusion between them is the source of almost every career plateau I have ever seen. Your manager, consciously or not, is not asking, "Who worked hardest this year?" They are asking, "Do I trust this person to operate at the next level, with less supervision, in more ambiguous situations, representing my team to the people above me?" And there is a second, more important question underneath that one. Who do I already see as that person? Because identity precedes promotion. Every single time. Hard work builds the foundation, but three other factors determine who actually rises. I call them the promotion triangle. Visibility, trust, narrative. Let me break each one down. Visibility is not about self-promotion. It is not about talking about your work in meetings or sending emails cataloging your achievements. It is about ensuring that your work and your judgment are seen by the people who make decisions. Hard workers with their heads down are often invisible to the layer above, and you cannot promote what you cannot see. Visibility means being in the right conversations. It means creating moments, even small ones, where a person one level above your manager observes how you think, not just what you produce. Trust is different. It is about predictability at the next level. Can your manager hand you something ambiguous, without a clear brief, without a ready answer, without a firm timeline, and trust you to handle it, without constant check-ins? That kind of trust is built through small moments across months or years, not a single high-profile project. And the third side, narrative, is the most underestimated of all. Every manager has a mental story about every person who reports to them, a one-sentence summary of who you are and what you represent. Your job is to ensure that people do not shape that story without your input, not by spinning, not by exaggerating, by ensuring that the real story of your contribution is being told clearly. Most high performers never do this. They assume the work speaks for itself. It does not. You have to translate it. Now, here is where it becomes more complicated and more urgent, because artificial intelligence is changing all three sides of the promotion triangle simultaneously, and most professionals have absolutely no idea it is happening. On visibility, AI is making individual contribution harder to attribute. When a team of 3 uses AI tools to produce what previously required a team of 8, who gets the credit? Not necessarily the person who put in the most hours. The credit goes to the person who orchestrated the AI workflow and made it visible to the people who matter. Think about what this means for the meritocracy assumption. If AI compresses the output gap between high performers and average performers, then output alone becomes an even weaker signal than it already was. Visibility becomes everything. On trust, managers are beginning to value a new kind of judgment, the ability to deploy AI intelligently, to know when to trust its output, when to override it, when to disclose it, and when to own the result. The professionals building a reputation for this right now are positioning themselves ahead of a curve that will matter enormously in 3 years. On narrative, there is a new career story emerging inside every organization. It is the story of the person who understood AI early, who adapted faster than their peers, who became the person others went to for guidance. That story is available to almost anyone right now, but most people are not actively claiming it. If you work in a knowledge-intensive role, and if you are watching this channel, you almost certainly know that AI is not just changing your workflow. It is changing the rules of the game that your promotion depends on. So here is the practical framework. I call it the Promotion Triangle Audit. 3 sides, 3 deliberate actions. You do not need to do all of this at once. You need to know which side of your triangle is weakest and start there. Side 1, visibility. Ask yourself this question. In the last month, how many moments have I created where someone, one level above my manager, observed my judgment, not just my output? If the answer is fewer than 2, you are underdeveloped here. The action is simple. Get into more cross-functional conversations this week. 1 meeting, 1 briefing with a senior stakeholder in the room. Make your thinking visible, not your deliverables. Side 2, trust. Track this deliberately. Every time your manager hands you something ambiguous and you handle it cleanly, without over-escalating, without needing a handhold, that is a trust deposit. Start counting those moments. They are the currency that your promotion conversation will eventually be built on. And if you have not had an ambiguous challenge recently, ask for one. Side 3, narrative. This is the one most people skip because it feels uncomfortable. I want you to do something specific this week. Write down in 1 sentence the story your manager currently tells about you. Then write the story you want them to tell about you. If there is a gap between those 2 sentences, and there almost certainly will be, that gap is your communication strategy for the next 6 months. The promotion triangle does not require you to become a different person. It does not ask you to play politics in a cynical sense. It simply asks you to understand that managing your career is a legitimate part of your job, and to do it with the same deliberate effort you bring to everything else. Hard work is necessary, but it is the entry ticket. The promotion triangle is the game. Every organization has hundreds of hard workers. The ones who rise are the ones who understand the system and take deliberate action on all 3 sides of the triangle. And in an era where AI is reshaping what visibility, trust, and narrative even mean inside organizations, understanding this system has never been more important. If this kind of thinking is useful to you, watch how to redesign yourself for AI in this video. And if you want to learn about the best AI tools needed at work, watch this other video. See you in the next one.